idle dress rehearsal could, in days gone by, be a dull end-of-season affair. But this is Super League. St Helens' 100% record goes on the line against the Bulls, who they'll meet at Wembley in 2 weeks' time. Hints for the final may be at Knowsley Road. The crowds are rolling up throughout the Super League, and St Helens is no exception. League leaders, 100%, and a win over Wigan already. And here's the team they'll be watching tonight. Alan Hunt's at full-back, Arnold, Gibbs, Newlove and Sullivan, Hammond and Goulding, who is the captain, of course. And up front, it's Perolini, Cunningham, Leatham, Joint, McVeigh and Morley. On the bench for the Saints, Matautia, Pickavance, Hayes and Martin, the last two making a bid for places at Wembley. Coach is Sean McRae. And the St Helens mascot, St Bernard. He's enjoying himself, despite the fact that there are one or two brollies up in the crowd. It's a damp day at St Helens. Cook is the fullback for Bradford. Christie, Calland, Lachlan and Scales, Bradley and Paul. Lachlan making his return to St Helens after his transfer, along with two others in the forwards, Andy Ireland, James Lowes, Brian McDermott. And there are the two former Saints, Dwyer and Nicol, along with new boy Steve McNamara. On the bench for Bradford, Medley, Donahue, Knox and Hassan. The coach, of course, is Brian Smith. Referee today is the 1995 Referee of the Year, Russell Smith. And Steve McNamara gets this match underway. And an early touch for a former Bull, Paul Newlove, and quite a reception committee waiting for him. Brian McDermott in very, very quickly indeed. Good tackling from the Bulls, 10 metres from the St Helens line. Cunningham was the dummy half, and he got the ball away to McVeigh. And Derek McVeigh had such a big influence on this St Helens team when they took on Wigan on Good Friday and won. Mind you, so too did Cunningham. And Joint with a little half break. It's the last tackle in the first set of 6 here for the Saints. Goulding will drift the ball over the top towards the corner.
Just a little bit too strong there by Bobby Goulding, but the idea is there. Normally has a very good kicking game.
Sonny Nicol, formerly with St Helens, of course, as was Bernard Dwyer and Paul Lachlan. For the time being, though, the ball's on this near side, and this is Christie, who is fed by Calland, and it needed to be good tackling from McVeigh and from Hammond, as it was. Here's McNamara, £120,000 worth. The pass in field, but it was spilled by Andy Ireland.
Took his eyes off the football there. You could just see he was looking at the man coming towards him. Bad mistake there.
St Helens in possession then. They're aiming for an 8th consecutive victory since Sean McRae took over as coach in February. He doesn't know what it's like yet to lose. Meanwhile, swinging arm there from number 26, Steve McNamara.
Lucky to get away with it there. The former Hull prop really did swing in with a right hand.
Sean McRae, St Helens coach. Joint with a little run, 12 metres inside the Bulls' half of the field. Goulding under pressure, manages to get the kick in. Oh, they made a right meal of it, two of them on that far side. Lachlan was one, ball spills, it's Arnold. Well, Danny Arnold doesn't need chances like that presented to him on a plate. Two Bradford players collided, the ball bounced free, and Arnold hits double figures in Super League. 10 for the youngster.
What a real mess, but it was a high kick from Bobby Goulding. They put the pressure under him, but what on earth were the two Bradford players doing there? Lachlan really made a real meal of it, and Scales, but the winger went straight through. Nobody shouted for that. You can see that Locke has just held back. Beautiful pick off the ground from Scott Gibbs. And this kid, he's setting Super League alight.
He certainly is. Danny Arnold, hat-tricks in 2 matches this season. And he's now got 10 for the campaign already. So Bobby Goulding, 24 Super League goals and a drop goal to his credit already. And make that 25. And the captain, such an inspirational figure here at Knowsley Road, kicks a wonderful goal, 6-0 for the Saints. McNamara, the dummy half, offside against St Helens, creeping up far too quickly.
The hooker, Kieran Cunningham, he was leading the charge. So was Chris Joynt. But you saw on that play the ball that Bradford, when they passed the ball from the dummy half position, they were stood square. Must run onto the football. A little bit at sixes and sevens, the Bulls at the moment.
Paul Cook placing the ball on the centre spot there to take the penalty. That's Brian McDermott. He plays it now. Robbie Paul gives it to Ireland, and forward pass shouted the crowd, and Ruffrell Smith agrees.
Well, they really have lost the plot. Or should I say, they haven't even started it yet. It's a very lackluster effort from Bradford so far. Lack of concentration from Robbie Paul.
Hammond to Alan Hunt, and again, offside. Bradford creeping up as the scrum is formed. They've got to stand back 5 metres.
With all offside, Bradley leading the charge too. And once again, a quick kick has caught Bradford slow to get back. Well, a message has to go out from the Bradford coach, Brian Smith, to say, come on, get into this game.
Yes, they look quite lethargic at the moment. Hammond surrounded by 2. Nowhere for the St Helens standoff to go. Cunningham from dummy half. Tore holes down the middle against Wigan, running from the acting half-back position. Here now is Hammond. Perellini into the arms of McVeigh, and here's Scott Gibbs. And Scott Gibbs with a second try. Well, if psychology plays a part in the big event at Wembley in a couple of weeks' time, St Helens are on their way to making a huge mark.
Well, I wondered if Bradford want to start this game again. They are just not doing anything right. You could see there how they moved up so slow. That was not the best. Well played by Gibbs. Nice switch from Carl Hammond. And when the ball out there, you could see that Paul Loughlin really did come out of position. There was an amazingly large gap. Switch of play, Hammond did well, but keep your eye out for Loughlin coming in. There he is. He's just in no man's land. And when McVeigh sent the ball, it was always going to be a try for the Welshman, Scott Gibbs.
Scott Gibbs, 3 tries in the cup run. That's his first in Super League. Goulding with the conversion again. He's kicking well, isn't he? Wearing the air these days of a very contented scrum half and captain. Not the best start for Brian Smith's Bradford Bulls. And here now is McNamara. Spins in the tackle. Dwyer will keep the movement going.
They're standing still. They're just standing still at Bradford. They've got to get back and start moving. Get the legs working, please.
And the Ireland replaced by Paul Medley. Change made by Brian Smith. And no wonder, Steve-O, they really need a kick up the backside, the Bulls.
Well, Medley won't let them down. That's better, charging onto it.
And there is Medley. But as he received the football, he had to take the tackle from Newlove. Lowes gets the pass away to Calland. Calland trying to twist and turn his way to the line. It was the last tackle. They're right on the St Helens line. They're caught in possession again.
That's a second turnover. Well, it has to be a ploy surely by Bradford because they're failing to use the kick. And that means they're not applying any pressure really to this St Helens defence, which has looked very solid so far.
Steve-O, is this a ploy by Bradford Bulls to keep their cards close to their chest for Bradford, for Wembley?
Well, if it is, it's the wrong attitude. We talked about that psychological lift. If St Helens put a big score up against them today, it really will make them cock a hoop for Wembley. But there's only one side playing at the moment, and he's running the show. Good kicking game from Bobby Goulding. He's put under a lot of pressure, but he picked the spot well.
From the scrum, it's John Scales for the Bradford Bulls. Robbie Paul, the captain, at dummy half. Lowe's out wide to Medley. Medley then infield to McDermott. Perolini leaning all over him. Dwyer now crosses the halfway line. James Lowe's, former Leeds player, at dummy half. Robbie Paul will become one of the youngest ever Wembley captains. McNamara, good kick. That could bounce anywhere. Callan's after it, so too is Newlove. And Newlove taking no chances whatsoever.
He looked to be struggling, Paul Newlove, there. Really took a while to get into his stride. It was a nice kick, though, by McNamara. There was no sweeper there. Bobby Goulding was up in the first line. He's normally back as the sweeper. But he looked to be struggling to get into full pace.
Good deep kick, though, from underneath the St Helens posts. Midway inside his own half, Paul Medley runs it back, takes Newlove on head-to-head. The big Bradford forward, Steve-O, when they run from deep, they are picking out Paul Newlove, running straight at him.
Well, it's one of the few occasions that they've actually steamed onto the football.
Lowe's, that's a lovely run from James Lowe's. Callan is in support, and Callan gets the try. At last, Bradford Bulls have got off the bus, and they're starting to play. Matt Callan, in a great run of form, fourth Super League try.
Much better, good run from dummy half. He caught the defence there. Super play by Lowe's. It's a bad mistake, but at least they were running onto it. The forwards, it was a good run that got them there in the first place, but a nice dummy, and that should have been pulled down there. Carl Hammond missed his man badly. Great play, nice steps. Back on the inside, good support play as well. Matt Callan gets Bradford back in this game.
And so Paul Cook, 11 Super League goals so far. Stuttering little run to the ball, but he's pulled it in front of the posts. But at least Bradford have got something on which to build now. 12-4. Chris Joint.
Back to his best, the big second rower, Chris Joint.
Last one here for the Saints. Goulding, high hanging kick. Scales underneath it, on his own this time. Under pressure from Danny Arnold, he had to take the tackle. Laughlin now. Oh, and Laughlin caught one for his corner.
A stray knee went into Laughlin then. He really did catch one. The tackler was sliding in to get to him as he was falling to the ground. You can see it there. Oh, really did catch it.
Well, Laughlin is stunned. And let's hope that that's not more than just a bang to the side of the head. Having his jaw checked. He's staying on the field of play. Goulding, the man who gets the possession, of course, from the scrum.
Good play by Robbie Paul then. He spotted that they were going to go on the blind side.
Hunt has joined the line.
Oh, swinging arm there. Lowe's, that's silly. Right in front of the referee. Crack. Swinging arm.
You will need to take your pick here, I think, between Nicol and Lowe's. Lowe's certainly in, Steve-O.
He said he had the flat of the hand, but either way, swinging in, right in front.
The penalty then. Bobby Goulding strikes the ball cleanly between the uprights. Another 2 points to the St Helens total. 14-4. And Lowe's pays for his indiscipline. Goulding restarts then, 14-4, the Saints ahead. Medley now will take a run. There's Lowe's at dummy half. Nicol is the runner. Only knows one way, Sonny Nicol. Straight up the middle. McNamara saw a big gap behind Alan Hunt. Invites the runners. Hunt's after it though and gets to the ball first.
Good position by the fullback there. Once again, they were playing without a sweeper, the Saints side. But he positioned himself well at Hunt. He'd moved up in between where the sweeper would be and where the fullback would normally stand.
Goulding and Hammond and Perolini on the burst. They're swarming up in support, but Perolini's got pace. Cook's after him. Cook misses in. Perolini gets the try. That's a great St Helens try. He burst through the gap, Perolini, and then he really put his feet on the gas.
Tremendous play. Beautiful short pass. Oh, it was outstanding that. Off he went. And look at the speed. He set sail for the corner, and Paul Cook really should have cut him down. A fullback should be able to take a second rower like that. Beautiful pass by Hammond, and away he goes. The big fella. And he says, I'm going. The fullback won't get me. And he's right. That is a tremendous run. What speed for such a big man.
Apollo Perolini, the Western Samoan, a try against the Bulls here last August. And a try also against Workington on the first day of Super League. So that's two now in the new competition for the man they call the Terminator. Well, Goulding's been kicking well all afternoon, 3 out of 4. The roar tells you that's got chances. And the roars tell you that that has sailed over again. 20 points to 4. The smile and the little wink. And Sean McRae, the St Helens coach, well pleased. Here's McNamara. Misses out Dwyer and finds Robbie Paul. Loughlin, as soon as he received it, he's clobbered by Danny Arnold.
Tremendous tackling from the winger then. Read the play superbly. That'll be back to 6.
And a little knock on. Goulding putting Cook under pressure after he got a hand to the original pass.
Well, it said back to 6. And he hasn't allowed the advantage, so that means that Bradford will get head and feed. Right decision there from the referee, Russell Smith. No advantage coming to Bradford. But they really have got to lift themselves again. Move on to this football.
Graham Bradley, Sonny Nicol. They're standing still, Bradford Bulls. They're not doing what St Helens are doing and charging onto the passes.
They've got to stand deeper.
And Bradley looks round for support again, and it had evaporated.
It's very negative stuff at the moment. Little invention out there.
McDermott now. Good tackle by Perolini. Ball shoots out to Robbie Paul. Tackle then by McVeigh. It wasn't completed though. He's able to continue. Loughlin to Medley. Medley is cut down. The ball bounces free again. St Helens tackling like terriers. That was Cunningham on Bernard Dwyer. McNamara now. Still keep it moving, and that's a try for Scales. Referee has a little chat with the touch judge, looks at the in-goal judge. 4 points given, John Scales with the try. Last pass, I think, from James Lowe's.
Neat work on the blind side. McNamara takes it back. Big charge, and there they did it all good. And then just fell away. Lowe's holds the ball. Neat little pass out there, and they got caught. You could see that Danny Arnold was sucked through. McNamara at least charging forward. This is where it drags in the defence. But I'm afraid they just went to sleep from here on in. They were very slow to go over, and you could see that the wing and Arnold had been sucked in enough for Scales to get into the corner.
John Scales with the try. He made his debut in the heavy defeat here last August, did John Scales, but he will remember his appearance in the Cup semi-final for many, many years to come. Now Paul Cook, conversion attempt. Way out on the touchline. Another one he's missed. That's 0 from 2 for Cook. 20 points to 8 though. Bradford staying in touch only just. Cunningham out the back door. Gibbs will continue the movement going. Good tackling. Great tackle it was by John Scales. Saints looking for more on half-time with Hunt round the corner to Newlove. Newlove, they took the dummy, and Newlove against his former club. He will enjoy that moment, I'm sure. One of the best in the world, Paul Newlove, up against the Bulls for the first time since his world record move.
Newlove was the finisher, but Alan Hunt, beautiful play. In and out, round the man. Oh, that was sensational. Good running on the blind side. Superb dummy and foil. Sullivan was the foil coming back on the inside. Bradford took it, but look at the skills here. In and around. Once the man came on the inside, it was enough. They know they'd missed him. He had the strength.
So Paul Newlove with the try. Right on the stroke of half-time, 24 points to 8. And Bobby Goulding now has the opportunity once again for his 5th goal of this match. Leading goal kicker in Super League so far. Launches the kick, but this time it went straight. It didn't curl round towards the posts. There's the half-time siren. A good half for St Helens, and one I fancy that the Bradford Bulls would best sooner forget. Paul Newlove.